In 1977, in a quiet neighborhood of North London, a small council house became the center of one of the most terrifying paranormal cases in history. Furniture moved by itself, voices came from empty rooms, and a young girl claimed something invisible was controlling her body. This is not a movie. This is the true story of the Enfield Poltergeist. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why even investigators couldn't agree on whether this was a hoax or something far more disturbing. The story begins in August 1977 at 284 Green Street, Enfield, England. A single mother named Peggy Hodgson lived there with her 4 children. Everything was normal until one night, 2 of the children complained that their beds were shaking. At first, Peggy thought it was just imagination, but then she heard it too. Soon after, strange things started happening in the house. A heavy chest of drawers slid across the floor by itself. Loud knocking sounds came from inside the walls. Objects were thrown across rooms with no one near them. Terrified, Peggy called the police. When a police officer arrived, she personally witnessed a chair slide across the floor on its own. This incident was officially recorded. This was no longer just a family story. At the center of everything was 11-year-old Janet Hodgson. Janet began speaking in a deep, raspy voice that was clearly not her own. The voice claimed to belong to a man named Bill Wilkins, a previous resident who said he had died in that house. Through Janet, the voice described details about Bill's death, details that were later confirmed by records. Janet would scream, convulse, and sometimes appear to levitate off the bed. All of this happened in front of witnesses. Soon, the case attracted massive attention. The Society for Psychical Research sent investigators to the house. Journalists camped outside. Photographers captured images of Janet seemingly floating in mid-air. Among the investigators was Maurice Gross, an experienced paranormal researcher, and later Ed and Lorraine Warren, famous demonologists. They spent months inside the house. They recorded voices, they documented flying objects, they witnessed events that had no easy explanation. But the activity wasn't just dramatic, it was violent. Janet and her brother were scratched, bitten, and thrown across the room. The children were psychologically exhausted. Peggy feared her house was possessed by something evil. At times, the entity mocked prayers. It laughed during religious rituals. This raised a terrifying question. Was this really a ghost or something darker? However, not everyone believed the story. Some investigators caught Janet bending spoons and throwing objects when she thought no one was watching. Skeptics argued that the children were faking parts of the phenomena for attention. Even today, this is where opinions split. Some believe 80% was real, 20% was fake. Others believe the entire case was a hoax. But here's the disturbing part. Even investigators who caught Janet faking some events still admitted that not everything could be explained. After nearly 2 years, the activity slowly faded. The Hodgson family eventually returned to a normal life. Janet, now an adult, has repeatedly stated that while she did fake some things, most of what happened was real and terrifying. No definitive explanation was ever found.
If cases like this disturb you, then you're in the right place. Subscribe now, because this channel is dedicated to real stories that shouldn't exist.